will Tatsuri pick? I mean, he still has Ari, still has Galio if they want to pick that up. But speaking of the Dragon Lane side, Omega Esports, they locked in that Kaisa and that Nami.
And with the Corki not present here, so that means Team Secret may be forced to use the Zion Rakan, but never mind, the Varus is still available for them to take on. And what do you want to pair with a very low mobile Varus? So a Braum could possibly come in as Tatsuri can pick up the Galio, or we get to see Team Secret wait first for the mid lane matchup and then adjust accordingly. An Ari Galio isn't going to be too bad as well of a matchup, both really strong level 3, so Team Secret can relegate the Galio and then lock in a possible Braum on their side. We're going to be seeing a Riven jungle as well. Trevor, it's going to be very exciting on that champion.
Definitely. And I guess if ever this will be a Galio mid... Oh, you know what? Never mind. It's going to be a... Wait.
Hello.
It can also be a flex pick. I know Tatsuri plays Lux in the mid lane as well, so we have to wait for the switch ups. But we did see James use both Lux and Tatsuri as well. So up until the end of the draft, Team Secret, they're still playing these mind games.
Yeah, so far this looks like to be the settled composition. Tatsuri going to be on that Galio, really strong level 3, especially it coincides with the level 3 Riven, with the level 3 Renekton. So all these 3 champions are going to be scary when it comes to the skirmishes, and as well as level 5, we're going to be expecting early game fights from Team Secret. Meanwhile, the same thing can be said for the side of Omega. Strong level 3s on the Camille and the Ahri as well. Level 5 is incredibly strong, so we're going to be expecting movements from top to mid lane, while the bottom lane is going to semi-chill for a little bit.
With the Jeff already locked and the hole to the rift pouring in, let's just jump into the first game of our day 2 for the playoffs. Again, Team Secret versus Omega, first series, game number 1, and right on cue. I mean, a few skirmishes here at the mid lane. They have Arise that will just get his hands on quite the number of EXP just to get the head start. But looks like Omega, they want to focus on farming, getting the lead in, getting the items in, and it looks like you're right, Riku. They would want to initiate fights rather in the early game.
Yeah, it's going to be very easy, I suppose, with a hook shot into the charm, perhaps. A Rise first will come in. Something that can settle and make sure that the charm will connect. And we talked about this before, level 3s and level 5s. Omega, though, looking at the lane swap, they do not want to deal with a very scary duo laner. You're up against a very Pope-centric duo lane with James and Chewy there. So this is the call from Omega. They want to make sure that they can survive.
That is going to be the flash being used by James. You also have the tactical sweep being used by Impressive. So that is 120 seconds down for Lux Charm is going to connect. But you have Trevor with the stuns as well, forcing Arise to use his flash. Now you have Tynams on their turret. But looks like first blood is going to go over to Renekton with the help of Tatsuri. But he still gets taken down by the turret, and the kill went over to the ADC Timelines.
Yeah, Barrier did not help at all as Azar was pretty deep into the tower. Had a difficult time trying to escape, but it is still an exchange, a 1-for-1. But at the end of the day, Team Secret gets that first blood bonus gold for themselves. And of course, we know how a Renekton can possibly spin out of control in the early game to mid game. So this is a good start for Azar.
Renekton has quite the win rate here in the playoffs for the fall season. Let's see if there will be another win courtesy of Team Secret. But for the early game now, you have Trevor just getting his farm in already at level 4. I think the moment he reaches level 5, he will most likely go over to the mid lane. Ebenflow is going to connect onto Azar, but Stronger will just let it go.
It's going to be a 1v2 swap lane matchup. So with that, Team Secret now looking to be Trevor having a 3 buff start so far as Impressive. Wants to gain access, is not aware, rather, that the blue buff is possibly taken. There's a lot of vision on the deeper ends of Omega's jungle, so Team Secret really has a lot of information where Impressive has been staying.
Hook shot, tactical sweep, and you have the prismatic barrier being used by Hammers to protect Chewy on this Varus. Arisen very, very low. Looks like he will get the honey fruit, but here comes Trevor. He has the ultimate available. You also have the hero's entrance from Tatsuri, but looks like Team Secret, they want to focus on the turret. Looking at the stats, by the way, for Team Secret side, Chewy most likely was the champion that gets the first turret, first blood turret rather. And for the side of Omega, it will be Arisen. So stats don't lie. There's a chance that the Dragon lane and the Baron lane will be the first ones to have turrets falling down.
And to achieve that mission, a lot of these teams will now get that reset. But looks like Azar is going to come in. Level 5 already for Tatsuri. He can just fly in Hero's entrance on the board here for Team Secret to protect First Blood Tower. And now 16 seconds on the clock. It's going to be a Mountain Drake, so the shields are going to be very important against a poke-centric... If you're Omega, you do want these shields. You do want to survive as much as you can from all the pokes coming from the Lux and the Varus. So this is a priority for Omega. We'll have to see. They also have the option of getting the Rift Herald first and then opening the map up for Horizon to do his 4-1. We've seen him crazy with his crazy split push yesterday, and it has rattled, I believe, RRQ. And with that for Team Secret, right now, from what I'm expecting in the fight, Chewy will either Hames rather will get light binding into a chain of corruptions, into a taunt. It's going to be a very easy execution of bursting someone down.
Looks like Omega Esports will have first dibs on this Mountain Drake, and Team Secret will let it go. They are just going to focus on getting the Rift Herald, and that's going to be a fair trade for both sides. So from 2-1-2, Team Secret ran this 1-3-1 composition, plus the first turret going over to the Baron laner. Now you have the final spark being used, pushing Omega Esports back.
And that's a lot of wave clear, and look at this. Omega going to be late to this reset, as Azar will not push his luck. He's just going to stay here. There's still a lot of vision invested over here at the top portion of the map. So we're going to be expecting Azar to keep pushing through this lane. And you mentioned earlier, Yuko, the 1-3-1. And it can be unlocked, especially we've seen Trevor, no matter what champion he uses, Olaf, Lee Sin, even during the summer season, he will also do the split push duty. And with a Riven on and he's now using Riven, so that will enable that sort of strategy even more, that approach even more. So the 1-3-1 from Team Secret, Azar and Trevor could be a huge problem for Omega.
And of course, comparison Olaf Riven is very much mobile. So most likely Omega Esports could have a difficult time trying to catch this jungler. But at the very least, they have the tidal wave, they have the Hextech ultimatum, they also have the charm. But the question is, will it land? I mean, Trevor can just try to evade all of these skills, but looking back to the mid lane, Tatsuri minding his own business. Spirit Rush is available, but Arise will not commit just yet. Mid laners are just getting some EXP into their lanes, but focusing back onto going to the Baron lane or the Dragon lane. Triforce already available for Impressive, and next looks like Omega Esports will be able to get their first turret.
Omega's just going to settle for this one. Team Secret, though, making moves around the map already. Oh, mid lane.
I see the charm connecting, and you have Azar being locked in. Ultimate from Camille will connect as well, and that is to be one dead. The next one, I believe, is not going to connect, but at what cost? Team Secret just ramming into the Dragon lane side with the Rift Herald. No more outer turrets for the Dragon lane side.
Yeah, this could be a second charge as well if they don't prevent this from happening. As still a little bit far from the tower, Omega is able to execute this before anything else happens. So Team Secret is able to defend their towers with a sacrifice of only the life of Azar. And at this point of the game, the cooldowns are pretty short. So Omega not getting as much off of the map, and this is how Team Secret plays. Even during the summer season playoffs, they have been very macro-centric, especially if the composition calls for it. If they don't need to fight, they don't. And they just take away things off of the map with the enemy team not getting an exchange off of it.
Speaking of kills, Autolus told me that Team Secret had again, with Autolus stats, Team Secret barely gets first blood. If someone gets first blood, it was most likely Tatsuri or Trevor. So the fact that Team Secret, they're still playing the objective game, and 7 minutes in, they have a 3K gold lead. Everything is going to their favor. They also were able to get 3 turrets down, whereas Omega only got 1. And you said this, a lot of poke, a lot of wave clear, hook shot, tactical sweep in, stun, and you have the Hexic ultimatum. Chewie saying goodbye. James had no other way to save his teammate.
Yeah, there is no way at all. Especially, again, we talked about this before. Varus is very low mobile, very vulnerable, especially if you're paired with a support like a Lux who can't exactly get you out of trouble. And the only one who can possibly do that is Tatsuri. But you're so squishy, the hero's entrance will not make it in time. And all these passages to your lane will be incredibly dangerous if you don't have proper vision, because the charm is going to get you, the bubble is going to get you. Impressive as well, just lurking around the shadows on this Camille. So there's a lot of danger for Team Secret if vision is not properly established.
It's going to be Trevor with the D ward. You have a possible 3v3 up. Tatsuri still has hero's entrance, but it looks like Trevor just wants to focus on getting this Ocean Drake.
Getting that Omni Vamp for sure. Omega would love to have this since there's so much poke coming from Chewie and James. They really want to get that sustained as much as they can. Half HP already on the Ocean Drake though.
Will Omega be able to go with the seat out of it, jumping in? Here comes Impressive. Looks like that is going to be able to Team Secret still being able to secure that dragon. Flash in coming in from Trevor. The Hex-like ultimatum being used as well. Stuns are coming in. You have the hero's entrance being used. Hamas is still pretty much alive. Arise caught off guard. A flash out for Tatsuri, but it's not going to be enough. The kill going over to this Impressive. Darius being bursted down as well. A flash in from Mazar. Slice and dice. Another kill going over to Team Secret. A double kill for Renekton. Camille being annihilated, and it will be a 4-1 in favor of Team Secret, maybe 5-1. Evan Flow connecting, but Stronger will be able to get away.
Yeah, that is pretty much worth a support in exchange for 4 kills on the board. This is going to increase Team Secret's lead even more. They're already 6K gold lead ahead, and Omega Esports, they've tried their best to separate the fight earlier with Horizon setting up for the flank. But Team Secret, the way that they target focus is just so clean that Omega Esports could find an opportunity to eliminate Chewie right off the bat. Again, this composition from Omega, a lot of single targets involved. And therefore, their situation is that the best case scenario is for them to get a pick right before an objective and fight 4v5. But Team Secret, their 5v5 is much, much stronger. But Omega is able to equalize the map and get a tower. But here comes the collapse.
Yup, that is going to be a Rising Force to use Pro Tip, but here comes Tatsuri. Let's see if the taunts will connect. It will be a hook shot away. Impressive using tactical sweep as well. And if you saw the itemizations and the gold per champion as well, let me talk about the Globe key player clash earlier. Azar has now a 2K gold lead in favor of Horizon. I mean, these two Baron laners are up against each other ever since summer season, way back in Horizon's previous team. But now from Duelist, they reverted to these tanky frontliner, but still has damage kind of Baron laners. Again, speaking of Baron is still up. Piercing Arrow is going to come through, and Chewie will just hold his ground at the back lines, but you have a 4-champion hunting squad for Omega Esports side. Maybe they could assassinate Tatsuri, or they're just gonna let it go. Looks like they're just gonna let it go.
And it's really difficult because Team Secret sort of has an idea. They're missing the charm, missed as well.
Ooh.
They're missing people off the map. Meanwhile, top side though.
Top side, you have a chase onto Horizon. Stuns are gonna connect. Of course, now you have Trevor fixing his eyes onto the champion. Tidal Wave not connecting. Final Spark actually got Horizon there. Now here comes the re-engage. Charm is gonna connect, but they don't care. Roots connecting as well. The bubble is enough, but a double kill going over to Trevor. Killing spree for this Riven. Time left being chased down. IK and Raid. Flash in. Killing spree for this Renekton. And overall, it was another 4. But this time, 2-0 in favor of Team Secret. Plus, a Baron to beat, and the minions is knocking onto Omega Esports' base.
Yeah, that is just very clean. Azara pretty low at the moment. They're fine. Team Secret is able. Look at Arise though. He wants a kill.
Okay.
He probably wanted to get -1 at least of a person from Team Secret. with the Baron buff. But Team Secret now with a huge lead of that 7k gold lead plus the Baron, and in time as well for the Infernal Drake to spawn. Of course, both of these teams would love to have that big damage bonus. Look at the items from Team Secret. For Zonia's Hourglass. Once a charm hits, you just activate the stasis to make sure that all the combos don't come in and the rest of Team Secret can basically rescue you from that danger. 5 seconds for the Infernal Drake. So far, though, Omega trying to pick up the pieces still and pushing the wave. Their target is Trevor. If they eliminate Trevor, then the threat of the Infernal Drake getting taken by Team Secret is going to be reduced. But Trevor, very, very aware that this is happening. There are a lot of vision down at the blue buff area of Omega Esports. Impressive is very slippery, so he's fine.
Yep. Renekton will not be able to reach this champion, but now you have 3 champions just storming to the mid lane of Omega. Will be able to get the last outer turret for the mid lane, and it looks like the general wants to get the last turret at the mid lane. Tidal Wave is going to be used, but it will not connect. Piercing Arrow is going to come through. The Void Seeker used as well, but Omega Esports, they just cannot stop the siege coming in from Team Secret. Now there is a hole onto their base, plus Trevor minding his own business in the Baron lane side. You also have Azar in the Dragon lane, but Omega, they're gonna focus onto the Baron lane. Nightband is not gonna connect here, so Apprehend connecting onto 2. The Char not connecting. Ikate and Rain. Hook shot in. You have the Hex ultimate being used. Punisport being popped as well. Tacticals being used again, but Trevor does not care. He got stunned. He got charged, but it's okay. He becomes golden. Ari being taken down. You have a time of saying goodbyes. Will Impress trying to duel it out against Tatsuri. Tatsuri becomes golden too. Here comes the arrows coming in. Impressive. Chewy, TP, teleport. Let's see who will use, who will actually enter the fight. Another Apprehend coming through from Horizon. But again, you were right. The Zonias were just too much for Omega Esports. Double kill for Chewy. Double kill for Nami. Again, a 4th, but now 2-2. Still in favor of Team Secret.
Yeah, Team Secret says, okay, we're pretty low. We're up against the Nami. Stronger had double kill. We don't want to make it a pentakill for the Nami. So
True.
Team Secret just decides to back away. They've done their mission. All of the inhibitor towers are gone. Team Secret can just reset, get the Infernal Drake, and try again. And it was such a very long and extended fight to the point that Azar even had Baron empowered recall. He was so low, almost died, went back to base, bought a teleport, or rather, he had teleport even before. Teleported back into the fight and restarted the whole thing. But Omega, of course, since that was a long, extended fight, Omega had the upper hand to bolster their defenses. Team Secret, though, going to be starting this Infernal, and after this, they can try again. This is a 12k gold lead. This is massive.
They are gonna melt that Infernal Dragon. I remember we labeled Impressive as Mr. Steal Your Heart, but I realized Chewy on this Varus could be Mr. Pierce Your Heart because of Piercing Arrow on the Varus. I did a thing there. I'm so proud.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
don't apologize.
I love it. The game, 16 minutes in, Baron is still up. Team Secret, even though they got Infernal Drake, they would still want to get their hands on this Baron. Again, this team, they have high priority on the Baron. Omega, they really need to contest this because the gold lead just ballooned in favor of Team Secret, and Omega, if there's any opening left for them, this is it. Impressive. You need to be Mr. Steal Your Heart, Mr. Steal Your Baron. That way is gonna come through, but will not connect. And just like butter, the Baron will fall into Team Secret. Hextech ultimatum it again. Who will be the person to die? That is going to be the hero's entrance being used as will arise and forced to jump back. Rampage going over to Chewy. Impressive with the Zonias. Rampage for Azar as well. And you have Impressive being melted down by the Riven. A flash out from Stronger. Time-lapse annihilated. Looks like you have Trevor trying to pursue Stronger just to make sure that this Nami will not be able to go back into the base with Trevor focused on